After careful consideration, I'm announcing that I have made the difficult decision not to seek re-election to the Senate in 2026. It's just time.
It is a major announcement from New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen. She is retiring and won't run for re-election. And that's a major blow to Democrats who were already facing an uphill battle to reclaim the U.S. Senate. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. Midterms are typically sort of a tough time for the party in power, but this decision could make it easier for Republicans to remain in control. Our team coverage kicks off with WBZ's Tiffany Chan, who's been speaking with voters and political experts in New Hampshire.
A shakeup in New Hampshire politics.
This is really the end of an era.
Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen telling voters on X that this will be her last term in Congress. The 78-year-old was the first woman to be elected governor in New Hampshire history in 1996.
For a century before she became governor, this was one of the most Republican states in the country.
St. Anselm College political science professor Chris Galdieri calls Shaheen a pragmatic problem solver who helped make New Hampshire a true swing state.
She essentially created the model for Democrats to be able to win statewide elections in New Hampshire.
And then Maggie came in, and I think women are just as capable as men.
I don't like it why I'm a woman, but I think they need to be somebody more strong.
So what's next for the political trailblazer?
And while I'm not seeking re-election, believe me, I am not retiring.
How else could we see her in politics in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see her in elected office again. But I do think, I could see her taking sort of an elder stateswoman role in the state party, campaigning for other people, speaking at fundraisers.
A wide open race in 2026. Professor Galdieri says what made Senator Shaheen a fixture in New Hampshire politics for decades was her approach.
Some of her opponents complained that it was almost like trying to run against Betty Crocker because she just presented herself as, that nice, sane, smart, sensible mom down the street. That was the right approach for New Hampshire.
From Nashua, New Hampshire, I'm Tiffany Chan, WBZ News.
And she also had the ability to reach across the aisle and work with Republicans on many occasions. I want to bring in John Keller now, our political analyst, for a look at some of the possible contenders who may be interested in running for this seat.
Oh, well, how often does a seat come open? There hasn't been one, a Senate seat in New Hampshire opening up like this since 2010. So you can expect a lot of interest from current and former office holders, as well as business people and others who've never held elective office. It's going to be a free-for-all, but on day one, there are some obvious prospects we should mention. First of all, on the Democratic side, both of the state's incumbent members of Congress, Maggie Goodlander and Chris Pappas, have indicated they're taking a look at it. Neither one would be formidable. Goodlander was just elected last year, but comes from a well-known political family. Pappas is in his fourth term and has some ties to Shaheen, but it's unclear if she would get involved in the primary, Lisa.
Yeah, she may want to just stand back and see what happens until we're in the general.
Yep.
When she was elected in 2008, it ended a decades-long run of Republican dominance.
Yep.
Obviously, Republicans would love to have that Senate dominance back, and there are some household names that may run for this seat.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, first of all, you got to look at former ambassador and former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown. He lost narrowly to Shaheen in 2014. He won't have to work to get name recognition. And former Governor Chris Sununu left office early this year with strong approval ratings. But here's a name to add to the mix, Caroline Leavitt. Okay. President Trump's handpicked White House press secretary. She won an upset victory in the 2022 GOP congressional primary in New Hampshire before losing to Pappas. Look, in a race where Trump will surely be a central issue, she might be the one he wants carrying the torch. But Lisa, real quickly, there's a wrinkle here. You got to be 30 years old to serve in the Senate. She would still just be 29 if she won the Senate seat. But the Republican governor, Kelly I Hate Massachusetts AR, could appoint a placeholder until she turned 30. That's what happened when Ted Kennedy was first elected to the Senate in 1962, and I wasn't even born then.
I'm sure you weren't. You just know the story. So history could repeat itself. It'll definitely be interesting.
How's that for inside baseball?
Very good. John, thank you. David?
That was a cool little nugget there, John. Thank you so much.